Is this thing on? Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. I'm writing a film script called Saving Judy Garland. It hasn't been greenlit. I haven't pitched it. It's just an idea I had while watching some Judy Garland Wizard of Oz documentary. And watching the Wizard of Oz movie for the billionth time. I've been in love with Judy Garland and the Wizard of Oz for many, many years. And so I was seeing an interview about how she was on uppers and what happened to her in the end. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be amazing if I could go back in time and save Judy Garland? So that's where the title of my movie script came from, Saving Judy Garland. That's the inspiration. I remember watching it for the first time with my father and saying, Dad, I want to marry her. I was a very small boy. And when my father told me that she died before I was born, I was devastated. I actually cried because I was in love with her from the first time I saw her on The Wizard of Oz. Even today, it blows my mind that a 16-year-old girl starred in a movie in 1938. What was that like for her? You know, being this person who'd made 7 movies in 2 years prior to The Wizard of Oz. They worked actors really hard back then, and they made movies a lot quicker than they do today. And it just, it's very difficult. As I've been writing this script, it's very hard to find information about Judy when she was 16. I mean, I know she was very, very different, dramatically different to Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. She was no Dorothy Gale. She was a bit of a smoker. She was smoking at 16 years old. She liked to eat chocolates like most young girls do. In fact, there's a great story of her buying the hugest box of chocolates for her and the Munchkins as a Christmas present. And they sat on the Yellow Brick Road set and they, sat there eating this big chocolate bar together, which I think kind of says a lot about the nonsense that's spoken about the Munchkin actors and Judy as well. I think we can put that down to BS. You don't sit there, sharing chocolate with actors who have harassed you. Do you now? So that's nonsense. So what is my Saving Judy Garland movie? What's the concept? It's about an obsessive Judy Garland fan. He's got posters of her. He's got The Wizard of Oz on repeat all the time. He's lonely. He doesn't have anyone. All he has is his love for Judy. He's basically me. He's obviously going to be my age, and I want to play the character myself. So Saving Judy Garland is a spanning time-traveling adventure. So my character is whisked away, obviously for irony's sake and nostalgia's sake, by a tornado, and the tornado takes him back to 1938, LA, California, Hollywood, during the production of The Wizard of Oz. But as he arrives and he dusts himself down, he realizes he's wearing an LAPD uniform. And his job is to patrol the Wizard of Oz set. So he has to get his bearings. He has to get used to being in 1938. This is a 21st century guy. He's used to the internet. He's used to the luxuries of what technology provides. And this is 1938. The way they get electric is different. The way they live is different. The way they shower is different. The way they get everything. It's a different world that he has to come to terms with. But his job is policing that set. And he will meet Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch. And he will meet those wonderful actors like Ray Bolger. So we're going to cast, if that movie ever happened, we will be casting all those stars, who were in The Wizard of Oz. Lots of nostalgia, loads of cameos. But the story is called Saving Judy Garland. And he's there to save her. But what happens is there's a stalker who's actually, stalking famous young actresses of the time. And it's his job all of a sudden to investigate and to protect Judy Garland. But his obsession with protecting Judy gets in the way, because what happens is, in intervals of this story, this tornado is appearing and chasing him. The tornado wants to take him back to his time, but he refuses. He's not ready. He wants to stay there with Judy. And he becomes conflicted because the more he talks to her, the more he changes what happened in the past, the more he's changing the world, which puts the whole world in danger. And and in the end, he has to make the decision. What's more important, saving Judy Garland, or making sure the world isn't destroyed? And he has to make that ultimate decision at the end, the ultimate sacrifice. The story for me is going to be a celebration of the foundations of Hollywood, a celebration of musical cinema. The story isn't a musical. I couldn't write a musical to save my life. But it really is an inspiration, taking inspiration from Back to the Future, Life on Mars, not copying those stories. Every storyteller will tell you the same. Every storyteller takes inspiration from amazing stories they've grown up reading or watching. And that's what I've done with Saving Judy Garland. I watched a biopic a few years ago about Judy, and it was terribly done. It was really, really badly done. And, they didn't really get their facts straight. And there was a lot of too much fiction, too much guesswork, a lot of it kind of based on rumours. I don't want to do a Judy Garland biopic. I don't really want to know about her later life. Because really the 16-year-old Judy Garland was before she was really, totally damaged by different things. And she's pure. She was great to work with when she was 16. Now, there were lots of rumours about her being problematic to work with when she was older and she was, taking too many drugs, addicted to drugs. She had Judy had been damaged by the industry. But the Wizard of Oz Judy Garland is the real deal. Ray Bolger and the other actors loved working with her. In fact, Ray Bolger continued to work with her when she was older as well. And Ray wouldn't hear a word, said against her. So, I want to do something positive about Judy. And I just want to celebrate that 16-year-old Judy Garland. I want to celebrate the Wizard of Oz. And really, this story is about fans and celebrities. There's so many negative stories these days about fans and celebrities. I've decided to tell a positive relationship about a fan and a very famous celebrity. In fact, Judy Garland is the most famous actor there's ever been. She is a legend. Even young people know who she is. I think this is a film that people would want to go and see because it's positive. It's an adventure. It's wish fulfillment. We don't get wish fulfillment cinema anymore. And that's tragic. And that's what Saving Judy Garland is. Now, ultimately, I imagine this will never be greenlit, right? The pictures will probably be waved away. And it will just be something, a story that's in my head for the rest of my life. And if that's the case, so be it. Because I like it, because I think this is a great story. And it's a story I think people would be interested in seeing in cinemas.